Well, hello there. My name is Sometimes Heather and I play Elder Scrolls Online. 2 weeks ago, I shared with you the initial thought process behind a build, and today, I wanted to share Carmilla's build in more detail. This came pretty far from what it was when I started, which I take as a good thing. So, Carmilla was meant to be a test subject for filming tutorials for crafting and antiquities, but she kinda sorta developed a life of her own. I had her wear pink in the beginning, but now her colors resemble a mature bruise, black and red and purple. I went with a Dark Mage approach with her, noted that Dark Magic skill line isn't the best one out there, and became determined to make her work. I've given Carmilla the Oakensoul Ring, so this is a one-bar build. Let's start with our only weapon, a lightning staff. First, we have Force Pulse, which I use as a spammer. This deals a set amount of flame, frost and shock damage to a single enemy. If enemies around happen to be afflicted with a status effect, they take additional magic damage. This has no cooldown or overtime effect, which is why it works so well as a spammable ability. Next, we have Crystal Fragments. I used this in Theirani's build not long ago due to its tricky nature. In its ordinary form, Crystal Fragments deals a set amount of magic damage to a single enemy and makes the next non-ultimate ability 10% cheaper. Crystal Fragments has a 33% chance to improve itself when you cast a non-ultimate ability. In its improved form, Crystal Fragments does 66% more damage, costs less and is instantaneous to cast. This should only be used when it turns pink in your ability bar, like so. Whammo. Then, I've gone with Blood Mist. Any area damage ability should work nicely here, but I like the way Blood Mist adds to immersion. This turns Carmilla into red mist, while allowing her to leap at unsuspecting enemies to deal a set amount of magic damage over 20 seconds, and to heal her for a fraction of damage done while Blood Mist is active. Vampire passives give this an added boost, so be sure to purchase those. At some point, I thought I'd make Carmilla a healer and bought the Mage's Guild skill line when it was on sale in the Crown store. That plan didn't come to pass, but I still gave her Degeneration. This deals a pretty substantial amount of magic damage to a single enemy over 24 seconds, while granting Carmilla Major Brutality and Sorcery, which boost weapon and spell damage. I'm quite certain Major Brutality and Sorcery do not stack, so this can be replaced with your favorite overtime ability. I might recommend an Area of Effect ability for reasons coming up soon. Last, on our primary unchangeable weapon, we have Dark Conversion. This basically turns stamina to health and magicka, which is really useful when health regeneration is entirely gone. Dark Conversion also grants Minor Berserk, which boosts damage done by 5%. Our ultimate is the Swarming Cyan, which turns Carmilla into a giant monster and brings bats to swarm around her, tearing at the flesh of her enemies. Joy. Carmilla's passives mostly come from Dark Magic, Destruction Staff, Mage's Guild and Vampire skill lines. I also recommend getting everything in light armor and racial skill lines. Carmilla is a Breton, but I don't think race plays a huge role in immersion builds. Dunmer, Khajiit and Altmer should work fine here. Let's move on to our various gear. I wanted Carmilla to do as much damage as possible, so I quilted. I'm skilled in many kinds of crafts in real life, but quilting is not one of them. Ahem. So first we have 5 pieces of War Maiden. I have my main weapon, necklace, ring and maybe a sash from this set. War Maiden is an overland set from Vardenfell. You can farm it out or purchase pieces from guild vendors for gold. This adds to critical chance and weapon and spell damage. With all pieces equipped, War Maiden adds even more weapon and spell damage to magic damage abilities. For our monster set, I chose Baron Thirsk. This I'm quite iffy about, so do feel free to use your favorite. Baron Thirsk helm drops from Imperial City Nobles District when you kill Baron Thirsk. You can also find it in a chest in the Legionary Trophy Vault. Shoulders can be bought from a Talva Equipment Lockbox merchant. Is this a PvP set? Why, yes it is. This is the reason why I hesitated to use it in a PvE build. Baron Thirsk adds to Magicka and Stamina recovery. With both pieces equipped, dealing area direct damage marks a target. Every 2 seconds after that, an explosive scamp arrives to, explode on enemies and to grant them minor timidity, which does nothing to monsters but drains ultimate from human players. Each time the scamp appears, it does more damage. This is a mega fun set. I wish I was brave enough to try this in PvP. If you'd like to try another set in the place of this, I might recommend Nerienne. Then we have 2 pieces of Queen's Elegance. This adds to weapon and spell damage. And then we have 2 pieces of Red Eagle's Fury, which also adds to weapon and spell damage. As you can see, I wanted as much as possible. And last, I have Oakensoul. This is a mythic item from High Isle. When worn, the ring prevents you from switching weapons and grants you minor Slayer, minor Aegis, Empower, minor Courage, major Resolve, minor Fortitude, minor Intellect, minor Endurance, major Prophecy, major Savagery, minor Protection, minor Berserk, major Sorcery, minor Force, major Brutality, minor Heroism and minor Mending. I personally feel this is the best antiquity piece in the game and highly recommend testing it out. I have Carmilla walking under the Lover boon and have all my attribute points on Magicka. Now, let's take a quick look at champion points. As usual, I feel compelled to warn you of my ineptitude with this, so please don't trust me blindly. In Warfare, my active stars are Weapons Expert, Deadly Aim, Wrathful Strikes and Untamed Aggression. In Fitness, I've gone with Siphoning Spells, Rejuvenation, Fortified and Boundless Vitality. In Crafts, I have all the stars that make playing fun for me. Do choose your favorites here. Finding a build that works for Carmilla has taken a long time. During that time, she's become a vampire twice, changed her name, even faced the very real threat of being deleted. I don't know why she's been such a challenge for me. As a Breton, she should be the perfect soul, flexible and persistent, and the curse of vampirism should work well with her magical abilities. I'm happy I finally found a way to make her build work, even though it does feel a bit mediocre. I think Carmilla will be our first test subject when scribing is added to ESO. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you all later. Ta!